Coming up, the Ramblers beat the George Mason Patriots. We have your highlights.
We'll also be taking a look at Black History Month and its impact on Super Bowl 57.
Also be making some Super Bowl predictions in this week's Ramble.
All this and much more.
Rambler Sports Locker starts now. Welcome back to Rambler Sports Locker. I'm Chloe Morrissey.
And I'm Kihmm.
We'd like to start off this week's episode by honoring Black History Month. This month is a time of reflection where we can take a look at just how far we've come, but also at how much still needs to be done.
That's right, Chloe. Loyola and athletics wouldn't be the same without the pioneers of systemic change. Here is Bazzone, who will share how Black History Month is honored right here at Loyola.
Lucas and Chloe, I'm here inside of the Norville Center for Athletics at Loyola's Lakeshore campus. February is Black History Month, and here at Rambler Sports Locker, we'd like to dedicate this segment to some of the prominent black figures who have shaped the game of professional football. Mike Carey, the first black official to referee a Super Bowl. Doug Williams, the first black quarterback to start and win Super Bowl MVP. And Tony Dungy, the first black coach to win the Lombardi Trophy. And on Sunday, February 13th, Super Bowl 57 sees even more history being made. Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes square off for the Chiefs and Eagles, marking the first black quarterback matchup in the game's history. Both quarterbacks know just how significant of an achievement this is. In press conferences this week, Mahomes told reporters that, quote, "The guys that came before me and Jalen set the stage for this, and now I'm just glad we can set the stage for kids that are coming up now," unquote. When you hear Cheryl Lee Ralph sing the Black National Anthem, Lift Every Voice and Sing, before the game on Sunday, I urge you to listen closely to the lyrics. They serve as a reminder that each generation of black Americans has had to lift their voice up to demand human rights, to demand justice, and protect everything that they have worked for. Understanding the black perspective, learning about their contributions to the sport, and acknowledging many of the systemic injustices that still exist today are the reasons why we celebrate Black History Month. For Rambler Sports Locker, I'm Bazzone.
Thanks, William. All of us here at Rambler Sports Locker are committed in continuing to fight against social injustices. Now, it's time to shine a spotlight on a new freshman athlete. Vanesa Hoxha is here with this week's edition of Newblers on the Block.
And a well-deserved spotlight at that, Chloe. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Newblers on the Block. In this episode, I highlight a notable rookie on the women's basketball team, and that is none other than number 25, Mallory Ramage. In the Ramblers' previous match against the Fordham Rams, Ramage made her debut in the starting lineup, and rightfully so. Ramage accumulated just about 36 minutes of playing time and hit her career-high 14 points, 8 total rebounds, 3 steals, and 2 assists. This is a player who is continuously developing and showing improvement from the beginning of the season. Though she started her season with a low single-digit number, she is now breaking through. Let's take a look. In her first game against Western Michigan, Ramage totaled a scoreless 3 minutes of playing time. However, she begins the climb with her game against Virginia, racking up 7 minutes of playing time and 3 points. In one of her more recent games against LaSalle, with roughly 16 minutes of playing time, she scored 9 points. All of this, of course, led her to the game against the Rams, where she hit her career high. This athlete is a fierce competitor and improving every day with every performance. Continue to keep an eye out for this rookie. For Rambler Sports Locker, I'm Vanesa Hoxha.
And more Loyola sports news, the men's golf team's spring season is back in full swing after its first invitational of 2023. Amelia Villhauer has the story.
The men's golf team is back in full swing for the Earl Yestingmeyer Invitational in Dade City, Florida. The tournament lasted through Monday to Tuesday, and here are the highlights. The 6-seed Ramblers first beat the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers in the quarterfinals on Monday with a score of 4-2. This is thanks to senior Zach Walsh and freshman Ryan Walsh victory against their opponents. Graduate student Tyler Anderson also came out on top by winning 3 out of 4 holes. However, Ramblers were handed their own defeat in the semifinals matchup against the Drake Bulldogs in a 4-2 score. After being knocked out, the team moved on to beat the High Point Prowlers in a consolation round. In the end, the Ramblers came out with a third-place finish. Senior Timmy Crawford ended the event by remaining undefeated. The team will be back in a month when they attend the Daytona Invitational on March 7th and 8th. For Rambler Sports Locker, I'm Amelia Villhauer.
Thanks, Amelia. We can't wait to see how the men's golf team performs the rest of the season. So, Chloe, you've heard of volleyball. You've heard of kickball. But how about a game where the both of them are combined?
I have not, but luckily George Gustafson is here to explain to us a new game called Sepik Takraw.
Guess what day it is? That's right, Fun Sport Friday. Hi everyone, George here with another fun sport. Today we're talking Sepik Takraw. You heard me right, Sepik Takraw. Also known as kick volleyball, the South Asian sport is played with two teams from 2 to 4 players on a court similar to the size of pickleball, and uses a ball about half the size of a basketball. The match starts with the server kicking the ball out from their service circle, and from then on is played similar to volleyball, except of course without hands. A match is won when a team wins 2 out of 3 sets. Although it originated in Thailand and Malaysia, the USA has its own team who won gold in the Sepik Takraw tournament that was held in South Korea last December. The game is just unreal to watch. The athleticism asked from all players is outstanding and makes for a fantastic spectator sport. I mean, just look at them. They're doing like bicycle kicks just to get the ball over the net. And the floor is not even soft. It's the same material used in tennis. Unbelievable. I don't know how you even start to learn this sport. Unfortunately, there are no live games being held soon, but there are plenty of reruns on YouTube if you have an interest in checking them out. For Rambler Sports Locker, I'm George Gustafson.
Thanks, George. What an interesting but fun sport. In more Chicago sports news, the White Sox have recently been awarded a Social Justice Award for philanthropic excellence, and Caroline Lyngen is here to fill us in.
In honor of Black History Month, we all here wanted to shine a light on the work of major sports teams in Chicago who have contributed to the work towards social justice. I spoke with Colin McGalley, a 2016 Loyola graduate and public relations coordinator for the White Sox. The White Sox have just been honored by the MLB with the Allen H. Selig Award for Philanthropic Excellence. One of the programs that brings the most attention is the Amateur City Elite Program, or ACE, which provides opportunities to Black baseball players from underrepresented communities throughout Chicago and gives them a chance at no expense to play travel baseball and get exposure to college scouts and recruiters. McGalley said, quote, "We want to make sure it's a level playing field and that everyone has a chance to get involved with the game regardless of socioeconomic barriers. More holistically, I'm thrilled that we have representation across the board, from partnering with diverse businesses to making sure we're welcoming everyone's voices and perspectives within the front office," end quote. For more information about the ACE program and the work that the White Sox organization is doing, you can go to whitesox.com/diversity. For Rambler Sports Locker, I'm Caroline Lyngen.
Thanks, Caroline. Congratulations to the White Sox for a great achievement and working towards breaking down racial barriers.
This Sunday, the Eagles and Chiefs will play in Glendale, Arizona in Super Bowl 57. For this week's Ramble, I'll be speaking with Chloe and executive producer Gabbi Lumma, who they think is the best team to hoist the Lombardi Trophy. Welcome back to another edition of The Ramble. I'm your host, Lucas Kihmm, here with Gabbi of the Lumma family and Chloe Morrissey. As part of our Super Bowl coverage, I'm asking you guys about your Super Bowl picks and why. And a follow-up question would be, do these two teams deserve to be in the Super Bowl? Or was there another team that did better? Gabbi, I'll start off with you.
Personally, Lucas, I think the Chiefs are going to win Super Bowl 57. Personally, I am a Chiefs fan, but Patrick Mahomes is just too powerful to overcome. I just don't think that Jalen Hurts and team have the tools to overcome Patrick Mahomes and all of his weapons as well.
Chloe?
I'm going to have to disagree with you there, Gabbi. I think that the Eagles are going to take this one home. I feel that this game is really going to come down to defense, and I think that the Eagles just are better prepared for that.
Okay. Personally, I think that the Eagles, they are focusing on their pass rush game right now, which is not necessarily going to work against the Kansas City Chiefs because we are a passing team, Like Patrick Mahomes is just, he's going to throw it downfield. Travis Kelce's going to be there. He's going to score a touchdown.
I will say also, though, the Eagles probably have one of the best defenses, one of the best secondaries, who are good at the passing game, so they have a lot of good corners I'm not super familiar with their corners, but I know they're probably the best. And, they put up a big fight against San Francisco in the NFC Championship. So I think it may still be a struggle for the for the Chiefs. But, you never know. Patrick Mahomes, he makes Mahomes magic. So
This is true, but the Eagles also went against, the fourth-string quarterback against the 49ers. So, they haven't necessarily had a super hard game in the NFL playoffs yet because they played a mediocre Giants team, and then they played the 49ers who, they weren't that good. They had their fourth-string quarterback. They didn't have Brock Purdy. They didn't have your man, Jimmy G. They didn't have either of them, the weapons. So, they haven't necessarily had a super hard game in the playoffs yet. So this will definitely be their hardest game, Super Bowl 57, against the Kansas City Chiefs, who have had some hard games. Against the Bengals, it was a tough game. So I believe that the Chiefs are more prepared for the Eagles in that matter.
Chloe, do you have anything to say?
Fly, Eagles, fly.
Honestly, I hope it's a tie. Anyways, Super Bowl 57 will be on Fox this year at 5:30 p.m. Central Time. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks, Gabby and Lucas. Honestly, I think I'm most excited for Rihanna's halftime show. Now switching gears to Loyola sports, the men's basketball team was able to win their first home game of the month against George Mason. Lucas Kihmm is here with the highlights.
The Ramblers started off February with a win, defeating the George Mason Patriots 69-61 at Gentile Arena.
The Ramblers were coming off a tough two-game losing streak coming into this game. Bryce Golden of Loyola started the game off hot and led the team in points for almost the entire first half. The Ramblers were able to get lots of good looks in the paint, such as this easy Norris fadeaway. Even though Loyola started off hot, the Patriots crept back into the game by making their shots on the perimeter. Come second half, the game was tied at 38 with a Malik Henry dunk on the Ramblers. Even though the game stayed close for the majority of the second half, freshman Ben Schweiger stepped up to keep the Ramblers ahead. A Marquise Kennedy and one solidified the game, allowing the Ramblers to stay in control and win 69-61. Loyola's coach Drew Valentine had this to say about the team's performance.
Although we've been through some tough adversity this year, these guys have not quit. There's not one time you could watch our team and just say that these guys just rolled over.
The Ramblers will be back at home playing St. Joseph University this Wednesday, February 8th at Gentile Arena. For the Rambler Sports Locker, I'm Lucas Kihmm.
The Loyola men's basketball team returned to Gentile Arena February 8th to face St. Joseph's University. The game started off with the Hawks getting the ball at the tip-off. Within the first 2 minutes, Loyola's Bryce Golden scored a three-pointer. St. Joseph fought back with this three-pointer by Cameron Brown, giving them a 2-point edge over the Ramblers 4 minutes into the first half. The Ramblers and the Hawks kept a steady pace going throughout the first half and into the second. The game took a turn for the Ramblers when St. Joseph's Greer III scored this 2-pointer in the paint, breaking the stalemate and paving a winning lead for the Hawks.
We played pretty good for about 36 minutes, and we didn't finish the game how we wanted to. I mean, whenever you split up 83 points and 18 offensive rebounds with 15 turnovers, you're not going to win very many games. And that's what that came down to.
LeBron James just broke Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's NBA all-time scoring record on February 7th. Kareem held the record since 1984 with 38,387 points. The record now belongs to 38-year-old LeBron James, who sits at 38,390 points and counting. Congratulations, Bron. And that wraps up this episode of Rambler Sports Locker.
To stay up to date on all things Rambler Sports, be sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Loyola RSL and subscribe to our YouTube channel. From all of us here at Rambler Sports Locker, I'm Chloe Morrissey.
And I'm Lucas Kihmm.
And don't forget to turn off the lights.